I love living in Paris because it's like an open-air museum. When I walk down the boulevard or the street looking at the Haussmannian building, looking at the churches, the years of history, the centuries of history, it just makes me happy. I feel like I'm part of something bigger. For many years, I was looking for a place where I could live which would serve many other functions. A laboratory for my experiences for La Tuile, a place where I could showcase the large-scale pieces that I could never put at La Tuile, a place where I could at times entertain clients and let them see how we could put things from La Tuile together in a way and show them one of the possibilities. I was also looking for a place where I could gather my many collection of things and put them in a way that would allow people to see my vision and also see the pieces that I've been gathering over times in my life, including photography as an art form, including sterling silver, or including tortoiseshell boxes from the Victoria era. About the living room, it all started with the sofa. When I found out that this magnificent sofa from Maison de Cour in Paris was available for purchase, and thankfully I could afford it, but I didn't have the apartment yet where I could actually put it. But it was good to have something to start with. And I think we built this apartment basically around the sofa. This is my favorite room in the whole apartment because I have all my books around. I usually, when I come back, when I'm not in the countryside visiting artisans, I am at home in Paris where I spend most of my weekends. I like to be here in the library, taking most of my meals. I will take them here by myself, or I will be browsing through my many books in this room as well. This room, it all started with the chandelier. I was going for something natural, so starting with that chandelier, I decided on the table and then on the rattan chairs, and the rattan chairs which were going all together, and then we built around it. And I decided that for all the books here, I needed a little bit of pottery because I needed accent to remind me of what I do for a living. So I gathered here this collection of little vases, all came from one of the artisans who are represented at La Tuile. In terms of photography, I was always drawn to portraits. And at some point I decided, like many things, when my heart is set on something, I always try to go deeper. So I decided to get a tutor, an art historian tutor, who would come over every Sunday and we would sit around the table having tea and talking about the history of photography. And that's how I learned why I liked photography, like portraits, why I liked certain photographers, why I wanted to get some of the photos that I live with. And it is a good way for me to be reminded of my passion and get a starting point when I'm thinking of a project or a mindset of something, an emotion that would allow me to develop in my work and to put things together in a way that will appeal to a larger audience. I've lived in Paris over 20 years and so I have many lives in this city. The most important part of my life in Paris started when I took over La Tuile in 2006. It was important because it was an outlet for me to explore and to create the lifestyle that I was longing for in my childhood. By taking over La Tuile, I would spend an important part of my days in the countryside because that's where I get to meet the artisans I work with and visit the studio for the key opening where I get to select the pieces that will be coming into La Tuile. I see La Tuile like a heaven for the handmade. When I say handmade, I don't mean it literally like made by hand. I mean, I have artisans who go to their studio every day and with a total freedom to create whatever they want. And at times we might talk about a vision that I may have for a table that I would like to set the way I see the world today, and we talk it back and forth until we come up with something that would work for La Tuile Loup's patrons. I like that part of my work because it allows me to create myself. When they arrive in Paris, I still have to put things together in a way that would appeal to a younger audience or to people who need to know what the pieces from La Tuile Loup could be used for. Obviously, I love to entertain. I mean, working at La Tuile Loup, it's only natural to be entertaining all the time, because when I go to choose the pottery that will be coming to Paris, I'm always thinking of new ways to showcase and to present the pottery around the table. Entertaining to me means putting together a lot of things that you have at home, and over time, it also means building your own kind of closet of things that matters to you to put on the table. You don't need to have new things all the time. Little accent pieces can make a difference. Thinking of Mr. P's menu here, or place card, those wonderful, look at the design and the handwriting. It is just wonderful, and I love having this little accent. What's important to me about setting the table is to get to entertain all five senses. I like when I have people sitting around the table, I have them to feel like nothing is important or nothing is too precious for them to use or handle. I just want them to feel at ease. You're entertaining all five senses, so people, it could be the way people will talk to each other, the conversation which is going on, it could be the fragrance of the meal that's coming, it could be the flowers or the shape of the plate or the glasses. The wine would bring something to people, and they will just feel at ease and enjoy a moment, and then you make a memory. That's really important to me. I want to mention that the centerpiece, which is always present on my table, it symbolizes getting together, the idea of creating a communion, which is a symbol more than having, because it could be flowers obviously, but you can choose to put another object on the table. It could be like a little animal, a statue that you put on the table, or it could be like just a tureen on its own. That would be enough. I know that Stacy and Susanna, you guys are going to visit Timothy Corrigan in the countryside in France, in his chateau, for the weekend, but I also know that you'll be coming back to Paris next week, so it gave me the opportunity to have you coming back here to sit around the table with me, and it will be a different experience. I hope so. Over time, I discovered many ways to express my passion for floral arrangement. Given that I have a lot of vessels available at La Tuile Loup, I usually go to florist, and we discuss my vision for the floral arrangement that I have. It's in general based on the season. It can be based on the vessel and the color that come together, and I like this matter of balance and proportion, which is also very important. I work with different florists based on the flowers they have available, based on the colors that they like, based on the craftsmanship that they have. I would choose one florist or another. It depends also on the celebration or the idea I have in mind. In general, I would go to Monsieur Georges François, who is my favorite local florist. I usually go to him. I remember the first time I went to Monsieur François, I told him that I was coming back from a trip and I wanted something that would represent nostalgia. And he came up with a wonderful composition. And since then, I've been going to him for many ideas. For the dinner party I threw for Stacy and you on your last evening in Paris, I wanted to do something a little bit different. I thought I would channel Stacy's style here for once, to do something completely different, a mix of pattern and pattern, and trying so loud and at the same time a little bit sophisticated. So this is it. So I use my wintertime marble ware dinner service in cameo colors, in a Liberty print tablecloth, and mix it all with, ties it all together with a mix of flowers, which makes it look, which really looks fun. And that's what I love about this table setting that I did for you guys.
Don't miss another video visit. Click on the orange Q to subscribe and have Quintessence virtually delivered from our doorstep to yours.